Hello, lovelies. How you going? Narc Free Formula, Freedom here. Tonight's episode is about object constancy. Well, it's about two things, actually. It's about whole object relations and object constancy. And I know you're thinking, what the hell are you talking about? Big terms, but I'll explain what it means in just a minute. Before I start, though, if you like any of my videos, please remember to like them, subscribe to the channel, and feel free to share as widely as possible. Also, if you've got anything to say, please put it in the comments, because I'm really interested in hearing more from my viewers and finding out what you guys want to hear videos about. Alrighty, so I'll just tell you just quickly. So two things that are going on at the moment. So for me, at the moment, I'm having to deal with my soon-to-be ex in regards to children and just stuff, unresolved stuff. And subsequently, I've been receiving quite a few emails and text messages and comments on my YouTube channel and comments on my Facebook. And I've been reading through them, and it's quite interesting because, you know, when I was in the relationship, you know, it's the old thing, can't see the, what is it? You're in the forest, can't see the woods for the trees. Well, now that I'm out, you know, I'm starting to really see things for what they are. So reading the emails, it's quite fascinating, and these text messages and things, quite fascinating, because like I said, I'm kind of removed emotionally now. You know, it wasn't that long ago that I still used to get kind of taken on a bit of an emotional roller coaster ride, but I stopped allowing him to drag me around by my heart. Because I started to kind of figure out a bit of a pattern in his behaviour, and this is prior to me going no contact either. But I noticed that whenever he was having problems with his new supply, or wasn't getting the supply that he wanted, was when he was being nice to me, respectful towards me, talking about our child, you know, just talking in kind of terms that were generous of spirit, I suppose, friendly, warm, respectful, i.e. an act. Anyhow, so I'm looking at these emails, and first of all, he's put in a bit of an act in some of them. But it's quite amazing that even in the course of an email, he cannot maintain one emotional state. You know, he flips between, you know, calling me old friend and asking for my forgiveness to being really abusive in one email. Truly quite bizarre. And it was only 6 months ago that I was the drug of choice. You know, and now I'm everything under the sun. So anyhow, let me explain what's going on there. This is because of unstable self-esteem, difficulty self-regulating, so self-regulating moods, and subsequently having to act out. So whenever he's in a mood, when he's feeling low, depressed, miserable, whatever, angry, he has to rage, because that makes him feel more powerful, more in control, like he taught me a lesson. And as I said, this comes from this object constancy. So I'll just explain what they are just quickly. So object constancy is the ability to maintain positive emotional connection to someone that you like, even when you're angry. So most non-disordered folk, you know, we can have an argument with someone and still love them to death, still think fantastic things about them, still, you know, have nothing but good things to say about them. Whereas a narcissist, they are, you know, the extremes. They are love, hate, And it ties into, sorry, I've just got some notes here. It ties into, yeah, whole object relations. Sorry, so you got object constancy and whole object relations. Two separate things, but similar. So whole object relations is the capacity to see the self and others as having both good and bad qualities. So in the narcissist mind, you're either all good or all bad, and they're either all good or all bad, which is why they can't ever admit to being weak, to have made a mistake, to do anything wrong, because if they admit that, because there is no regulating of, these kind of emotions and thought patterns. So instead of saying, well, I made a mistake, but I'm still a top bloke, for the narcissist, if they were to admit that they made a mistake, they would be admitting, I've made a mistake, I'm a bad person, I've fucked up, I'm useless, I'm worthless, I have no value, and they just spiral into this complete and utter, state of despair and kind of complete bleakness. Bleakness is probably a really good term, actually, for it. Bleak. Which is why they won't ever admit to being wrong. Not about anything. I mean, sure, sorry, I'll rephrase. They will come to you, like if you've had an argument with them, and they will come to you. I mean, remember, whatever they do, like it will always, if they want the outcome, they will do whatever it takes to get the outcome. So if they want you to come back home, put your bags down, come back home, they will say whatever it takes. So they will say, oh yeah, I was wrong, I'm sorry, baby, please. But that doesn't actually mean that they're admitting anything. They're just saying it to you. They're not actually admitting it at all, because if they actually did admit it, they would, as I said, go through this state of feeling absolutely worthless, futile, having no value whatsoever. So them saying they feel a certain way is completely different to them actually feeling a certain way. They're really good at faking it, and they're really good at talking about doing it, but it doesn't mean they're actually experiencing that emotional state. All right, so yes, so they can't admit mistakes because it causes them shame and humiliation and low self-worth. And they spiral down to feeling completely unworthy. Okay, so without object constancy and whole object relations, narcs see people as either being totally awesome, perfect, unique, special, right up there on the pedestal. Or if they've kicked you off your pedestal and you're now inferior, defective, have no value and no worth, which is always really shocking. See, I could never figure it out. When I was in my marriage, I couldn't figure this stuff out because I didn't know about narcissists. I didn't know this terminology. I didn't understand what was going on. And it was so strange to me because I thought that I felt so loved by this person, because during the love bombing stages, they really put you up on the pedestal. They tell you there's no one in the world like you. They've never met anyone like you. They know that there's no one in the world like you. You are so special. You're so unique. They've been around for 35 years and they've never met anyone like you. They tell you everything that that you want to hear, in a partner. So it comes as a real shock when the same person that said everything that you ever wanted to hear to you and made you feel so valued, so worthy, and so important, when all of a sudden you see in their eyes that they just don't care about you, that you have no value and no worth. that they've kicked that pedestal out from underneath you. And it could be something over, it could be over something so insignificant. That's the other thing. It doesn't have to be because you've done something majorly wrong. In fact, you might not have even done anything wrong. They might just be in the stage of devaluation. So they kick you off that pedestal just for the fun of it, just to see the look on your face as you fall down, just to see the bewilderment in your face, just to see the confusion in your eyes, just to see your self-esteem cracking. I mean, that's fun for a narcissist. That makes them feel really, really powerful. But as I said, when you're in it, it's so confusing, and this is not how normal people behave. But as I said, Narcs always got an excuse and a reason, justifications for why they are the way they are. Oh, it's my mental health. Oh, it's my ex-wife. Oh, it's because we're broke. Oh, it's because I used too many drugs. Oh, it's because, the bloke down the road looked at me sideways. There's always just some excuse. It's all just bullshit. It's all just bullshit. It's all just lies. Okay? These people are defective. Something really, really wrong with them. And, obviously this constant need for admiration and adoration and fuel, that's what's that's what's driving them at all times. But when they're not getting fuel from being admired and adored, they get fuel from feeling powerful. And that's, as I said, that's when they'll do the whole devaluation and knocking you off your pedestal just to see the look on your face. All right, let me have a quick look. Yep. Yeah, I think that's it. All right, darlings. So, I think you know what I think about this whole thing. Get narc free and stay narc free. It's just not worth it. No one can live like that. You can do it for 5 years, 10 years, but the effects on your mental health, on your life in general, on your physical health, there will be repercussions. Like, don't think for 1 minute. Don't think to yourself, oh, I'm tough, I can handle it. I don't really need much love. Oh, I don't really need to be treated, like a princess. I don't really need, too much attention. I don't need whatever. Like, don't do that to yourself. Because I was literally just reading the other day, I think it was one of Kim Saeed's clients had written to her, pretty sure it was Kim Saeed, talking about ending up in hospital for 6 weeks just because of the psychological abuse. Apparently this narcissist was not ever physically abusive, but just psychologically abusive. But your body can't live in a constant state of heightened stress. It's like living in a war zone. You can't live in a war zone for too long. It's not healthy. The body just can't deal with those levels of kind of cortisol and all the stress hormones and all of that fluctuating, and then, as I said, all the other stuff going on. Like, it's just too much. So even if you think that you can do it, even if you think that he's worth it, he's not. I'm telling you, it will take its toll. And not just on, as I said, not just on your physical health and your emotional health and your mental health, but on your relationships with your children, your relationships with your family, with your friends, on your job, on any kind of creativity or any kind of hobbies, any kind of life that you have. All of it will be affected by living with a narcissist. It's one of those things that once you've identified that that's actually what you're living with, so either a narcissist, sociopath, or psychopath, once you've identified that's what the issue is, okay, you can't justify it anymore. It'll only be a matter of time. Like, you can say to yourself, oh, well, yeah, I know he's a psychopath, but, he only treats other people badly. He doesn't do that kind of stuff to me. I mean, I went through that. That's the kind of stuff I actually said to myself. I know he's a psychopath, but he's only like that to other people. I even jokingly referred to him as being like having a pit bull on a leash. But, the difference is Pitbull's a dog. You know, dogs have loyalty. Dogs actually love you and, you know, will protect you. Having a narcissist on a leash, you know, every time your back is turned, they will do something to devalue you or damage you in some way. I mean, whether it's steal your money, go through your things, you know, they play all these little head games, you know, move stuff around so they can sit back and watch you tearing up your bedroom trying to find something, you know, and they know full well where it is, but they just get off on that kind of thing. You know, they love secrets, they love being in control, they love seeing you so confused but I'm sure I put it there. I know I put it there. You know, didn't you see me put it there? And they're just sitting there going, no, I didn't see you put it there. Knowing full well that, yeah, they did see you put it there. And then they picked it up and hid it. I mean, who does that? I mean, seriously, like, ask yourself, is that any way to live? Is that really a healthy relationship? No, it's not. That's the short answer. No, it's not. All right, darlings, thank you for joining me. As I said, please subscribe to the channel and share across any platforms to help me grow the channel. And if there are any questions or any ideas for videos that you'd like, please put them in the comments. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.